Welcome to the next standard banner featuring Magellan and Angelina. This is a good one. Magellan is a drone summoner, a great operator, and one of the best soloists in the game. Her three varied skills allow her to fit into just about any situation and provide an extensive arsenal of damage or CC. She does require extensive knowledge of the maps that you're playing on and the enemies you'll be going up against, and in particular, the enemy patterns, because you need to know how to time her skills very well. Poor use of Magellan will make her seem like an absolutely terrible operator. Also do note she's the gold store 6-star for this banner. Looking at her skills, we'll start with skill 1, the high efficiency freezing module. So this makes her drones cast a slowing field, so it ticks every few seconds and slows the enemies. When you activate the skill, it turns it into a bind instead, and it's a pretty strong bind. As with all of Magellan's skills, once the skill runs out, all the drones will retreat. And this is a big part of why you really need to know what you're doing with her. If your skill runs out at the wrong time, you can leave yourself completely open. Now, the advantage of this retreat mechanic is that it allows you to change the formation, which is what allows her to solo a lot of maps. This first skill in particular is about controlling the map with the on-demand slow and bind. Great for when there's a lot of fast-moving enemies all over the map and you need a bit of support everywhere. As with most summoners, E2 is very important because it increases the maximum number of drones that she can carry. Magellan doesn't have any way of regenerating drones. So if her drones get destroyed, they're not coming back unless you retreat and redeploy. The number you can deploy is always capped at 3. A benefit she has compared to other summoners is her second passive, which makes the drones invisible upon deployment for a short duration. And that does mean you can guarantee some effectiveness from those abilities. It allows you to deploy the drone and then deploy another unit afterwards to divert attention before the drone invisibility runs out. Skill 2, the laser mining module. This gives her an army of melee arts guards with 0 block, and they turn AoE on activation. This one is very effective if you're going up against a lot of high armored enemies. And her skill 3, which is the one that she's most known for, the armed combat module, turns all drones into AoE casters that deal physical damage. Activation increases the AoE and the damage. This is the skill you will primarily see her using when soloing stages. The damage is quite high, particularly if you layer the drones on top of each other. Summoners are interesting in that they're all different in how you time their skills and how they manipulate the enemy. They can each solo some stages that others can't. So even with a built Scene or Maya, Magellan will bring something new if you're looking for another challenge. Next, we look at Angelina, a slower supporter. She's mainly known for 2 things: low recharge and great uptime on her skills, and a very powerful third skill that reduces enemy weight, making it easier to push and pull enemies. She's also a great option when you need a caster on maps where casters are banned. Her major flaw is that she does nothing without her skills active, apart from provide her minor passives. Her first skill, Quick Charge Mode, is not used very often. This is the main one you use if you want to have her attacking as much as possible. But if that's the case, you probably should bring someone else instead. Her passives increase ally attack speed by a small amount and also give a little bit of healing. That healing isn't a crazy amount. However, it does stack well with someone like Perfumer, and then you can suddenly start having a pretty significant amount of passive healing to all allies on the map. Her second skill, Particle Mode, this turns her into, the best way of putting it is it turns her into a rapid fire single target caster. Particularly good for the situations I mentioned before where you are not allowed to use casters and you need someone that can burst down a single target. The attack speed on this is crazy. And her third skill, Anti-Gravity Mode, the skill she's most known for and the main reason you bring Angelina. The skill gives her a large range AoE attack that hits up to 5 enemies. The short cooldown allows for effective use against moderate packs of enemies. The video on screen shows you how she can replace the drone jammer, for instance, in that CC map, which is pretty nifty. However, it also presents her weakness, for she does nothing but provide her passive while recharging. If the enemy waves don't line up with her recharge, you will need someone else to take over. The weight reduction also means that previously immovable enemies will fly like Team Rocket. She has that unique quality I like in operators, as I mentioned in my 6-month plan video. If you already have Suzu and you have some tough resource calls to make, I recommend skipping Angelina and looking for a completely different operator to shore up a weakness in your roster instead. However, if you have a pretty well-rounded roster already, and even if you have Suzu, Angelina's unique skill will easily find a place in your roster. And lastly, we look at the 5-star operators, Iris, Texas, and Asbestos. Iris is a charge caster, better than Indigo, but the inherent class mechanic of needing enemies to stay away so that she can charge, plus her slow attack speed, makes the seemingly massive burst rather underwhelming. Texas is one of the best 5-stars in the game, a great vanguard for any roster. Her AoE stun is an absolute godsend. But you get a copy of her for free for clearing the pinboard missions. Counterbutt, higher potential on vanguards is always valuable. Asbestos is an upgrade on Durnar, though Durnar is free from the credit store. Asbestos's greatest strength is her anti-caster role. She is an absolute tank against arts damage, and she can reach super resistance levels. She's a good operator, yet she's notably weaker when enemies don't deal arts damage. Overall, you have 2 solid 5-stars over here, however one of them is free, so pulling to guarantee is only a moderate recommendation if you're the sort of person who goes for that. So, should you pull? It's hard to commit anything with the upcoming limited banner. That said, this is a good banner with 2 desirable 6-stars. One great for beginners, the other perfect for advanced players. Angelina is a strong AoE supporter, perfect if you don't have Suzu already, whereas Magellan has a high skill floor and a high skill ceiling, rewarding you based on your enemy knowledge and map savvy. It's quite likely that this banner will still be around at the start of the summer event, so you could always finish your summer pulls and then assess if you have anything to spare for here. And you can wait to see what is coming up on the next standard banner, which might be even more tempting considering the other summer skins on the way for powerful operators like Aya and Mudrock. Angelina has her own summer skin releasing on the Gavial event rerun, hence her appearance on this banner. Another thing to note, Angelina is the most frequent candidate for the gold certificate store amongst 6-stars, so she's got a long way to go before she reappears there. So this may be the last time you see her for quite a while. And you cannot recruit Angelina. So if you really want Angelina, this is probably the best opportunity you have to pull her for the foreseeable future. I do not envy you if you really want to get Angelina right now. I hope that has helped you decide on whether you should pull on this banner. Do like, share, and subscribe for more Arknights content, and good luck with your pulls. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.